Hey Keith, Nick Johnston, man. Hope you're doing really good. I had a chance to chat with a couple of my guys. Um, so it's me, a guy named Star, and a guy named Stefan. Those are essentially my two best friends. Star and Stefan and I met while working at Facebook, doing essentially the marketing expert role. Stefan also, before doing the Facebook role, was working at Google, doing essentially what was the Google marketing expert program. We are really seriously considering setting up an agency. Um, we found that there's an appetite for different businesses and different agencies that might be out there that are looking for a team who is able to handle some of the projects they may have that could really benefit from like getting into the data and kind of analyzing like what are some of the patterns, what are some of the trends, so that we can make decisions about scaling based on the numbers. And that's the kind of stuff that's exciting to us in general. Man, okay, like I had really walked away with a positive taste in my mouth after chatting with the guys. Thank you very much for giving us the green light to jump in and just take a look at what's going on in your account. All three of us are really excited. Um, with all respect, we think that you've got an incredible business going on. We think that your product has a lot of potential, a lot of mass appeal. It's hitting a niche. It's resonant across different levels. Like we're kind of like kids in a candy store looking at what's going on, and I just want to really thank you for this because for us, um, we all said it a few times in different ways that your account is perfect for a group like us who's trying to really get started to first take a stab at. So, sincerely, thank you. Um, Stefan lives also out here in the Orlando area. He's actually in Kissimmee. Star is looking to come out here eventually, depending on how things shake out. But it would not be out of the realm of possibility to maybe link up between all of us sometime. Probably over the phone first, maybe even physically. But we have the attitude of deep respect for the fact that you're letting us into the account in this way. Jumping into the cool stuff, man. Stefan would be very, very happy to dig into your Google when the time comes. But we all kind of agree that right now there's a lot of potential to be explored just from the Facebook end. We understand that you've got a goal of getting your daily sales somewhere in the order of $10,000 a day, and that as a company you're hitting somewhere around six, just as your standard baseline for what you would consider a normal day. So we were thinking that we really would like to explore how far these two platforms, Google and Facebook, could be leveraged to bridge that gap for you, and see if we can even push those limits. Like, maybe maybe the limit is beyond 10. And for us to think about jumping in here with you at this time, it's kind of cool. It's kind of exciting in like a nerdy way. Um, okay, so coming down to earth here, taking a look at what you've got actually going on in your account, we think that we would like to set up a couple of strategies that involve isolating some of the high quality targeting audiences that might be available to you for prospecting. So bringing new people into your funnel and then running a couple of tests that will kind of come help us understand where some of the value is when it comes to targeting them. Thinking about ways of organizing your potential audience, like people who live in Florida. Is there a way that we can isolate Floridians and treat them in a specific way when it comes to using them for target audiences? We want to experiment, targeting all of Facebook versus being very specific about where your ads show up, like, having them only show up on the Facebook mobile and desktop and Instagram feeds versus allowing Facebook to place them at other places. Because when we did a quick account analysis, it looked as if the majority of your sales were actually happening on a few core placements compared to all of the potential placements. So there could be a way to make your delivery more efficient if we are looking at kind of like isolating where your ad actually shows up. There's like you could see right here that the return from when your ad is on the audience network is below a 1, and it's on average, somewhere in the order of 2 when it's targeting Facebook and Instagram feeds directly. So maybe there's a way we can tighten things up. That's just a quick, idea of some of the things that we want to target in terms of placements. We found that when it comes to age, you get it seems to be that you get a decent return on investment for the age range of 25 to 55-ish. Below then and above then, it seems as if the return might drop a little bit. So it'd be really cool to start experimenting with different age ranges and seeing, look, what happens when we isolate who appears to be the best converters. Also, it looks as if I think 2/3, maybe a little bit more than 2/3 of all your total purchases have come from females. And so for us, we thought, oh, well, wouldn't it be cool if we could isolate the way that this delivers? We want to have some of your budget that's dedicated specifically to women, that has got a little bit more money so that we can continue to drive towards that higher converting audience. Is that just a symptom of the fact that most of the people in your lookalike audiences are females, and if we opened it up to interests with both genders, that it would be more productive? This is the kind of stuff we want to test out. We want to test to see if you're the kind of account where having many different campaigns with smaller budgets ends up being more productive than with larger campaigns where, that are just like crushing delivery and crushing placement versus a bunch of smaller ones who have lots of different chances to kind of optimize and kind of jockey for finding that sweet spot when it comes to like having enough budget to be relevant on auction versus not being too big so that Facebook kind of spins its tires and doesn't hit the right mark. So also doing some tests of dynamic product ads versus standard remarketing. So far, your standard remarketing has been stellar for you. I mean, we're hitting somewhere in the order of on average 15 return on ad spend over the 2 campaigns that I've done for you for cart abandoners. Past purchasers have been well above 8 return on ad spend. So figuring out the balance between prospecting, so finding new people, using interest targeting to do that versus all the different lookalikes that are available, versus using the different remarketing strategies for different parts of your conversion funnel, either people who have abandoned carts and not purchased, or people who have already purchased from you in the past. It'll be really cool to figure out what's the right balance between hitting the right mark so that we can kind of understand the relationship between prospecting and remarketing. And then eventually, man, we want to dig in deep. We want to get to the point where we are scaling and we are driving some results over a long arc. Let me know, man. Let me know what you think. Are you interested in kind of shaking it up and looking at the opportunity that's in front of us from the angle of what happens when you sick a few data nerds who happen to be interested in digital marketing on an account with a lot of data, and seeing how far we can maximize this, because we're all excited. We're all uniquely nerdily excited. So let me know, man. If you have any questions, you can call me, you can email me, whatever works best for you. Long story short, we want to help. Me and my 2 guys want to apply our best efforts to helping you use Google and Facebook drive the conversion numbers you want to, which may be bringing you from $6,000 to $10,000 a day. and we want to see if we can apply the information we have about using data-driven strategies to get you as close to that 10,000 mark as possible. So if that sounds legit to you, let us know. We're game. Um, we're really interested in cracking this out with you. So let me know what you think, man. If you're interested, let's get something rolling. Talk to you soon, Keith. Bye-bye.